When you have a game as simple as Rocket League, eventually the player base will become bored. When the dull monotony of car soccer sets in, the players are forced with two choices: give up or become obsessed. For a lot of players, giving up on Rocket League is not an option because when you get to a certain level in the game, there's not really any going back. Rocket League players are pretty weird, and they might start to realize that they're only good at this game and nothing else, so it becomes a sort of unhealthy dependency situation. One way Rocket League players have kept themselves entertained all these years is by creating bizarre and difficult challenges in the form of death runs, training courses, escape rooms, and entire stories and worlds. These creations have given Rocket League players a way to keep things interesting, despite the game's sheer simplicity. Not only do they offer something new and exciting, they also provide an outlet for creative expression, something even gamers outside of Rocket League can appreciate. Now, there's also a lot of complete garbage out there, not to mention about 300 maps where it's just playing Rocket League in a different, wacky environment. However, there are a few that go way beyond what Rocket League could and should be, in a class of their own with astonishing design, intrigue, difficulty, and just pure awesomeness. Today, I'm going to tell you about my experience uncovering these creations. My goal was to find the craziest and most interesting experiences in Rocket League that are either new this year or that I had just never tried before. So, here are 9 unbelievable challenges created by bored Rocket League players. First off, hardcore parkour. I purposely called this list unbelievable so that I could include some bad ones, and I'm actually going to lead with this one because it truly is unbelievably bad. I thought I had really discovered a diamond in the rough with this one because it had no ratings or reviews in the Steam Workshop, and it seemed right up my alley. Hardcore parkour is a challenge from The Office. What could go wrong? It starts out very intriguing and exciting with a mission to get some paper from Daryl's office, but from there the challenge takes a nosedive in quality. And I mean a literal nosedive, because half the platforms are randomly unsupportive. Once you do actually make it to the office, everything is on fire, which is on brand, it's probably Ryan's fault, but rather than being able to explore, the player is forced to follow a set path restricted by invisible walls, which will immediately teleport you back to the beginning. For some reason, I actually had the patience to figure out the correct path, and I did enjoy the virtual office design and some attention to detail here and there with various characters' computer screens. But eventually, I got tired of dealing with the invisible walls and started realizing I was being trolled when on one occasion, I went the right way but still got teleported because the designer liked teleporting me. That's when I realized this challenge sucks, the designer is a troll, and I hate The Office now. 4 out of 10. Number 8. Dude, where's the ball? In Dude, Where's the Ball, the premise is simple. You must find the ball. The world is very nicely designed, and I greatly enjoyed exploring the beautiful terrain. The ball was very well hidden, and I could totally show you how I found it, but I just don't want to spoil it for everyone. I'm pretty smart, so it wasn't very hard for me to track it down, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But if anyone does want to find it, I'll give you this challenge. The first person to @me on Twitter with a photo or video of the location of this ball, I will award $100. Not because I don't know where it is, but just because I want a fun challenge for you. Very cool level design, very cool experience, very well hidden ball. 8 out of 10. Number 7, Rocket League Warrior. Rocket League Warrior is by far the most intricately and professionally designed third-party Rocket League creation I have ever seen. Inspired by TV shows like Ninja Warrior and Wipeout, this passion project is the definition of going above and beyond. There are actually 3 seasons of content here, with 3 parts to each one for a total of 9 levels of puzzles, obstacle courses, and clever designs. Players will discover winter wonderlands with extremely difficult parkour challenges, Squid Game death runs, and other horror-themed exploits in this thrilling and sometimes dark adventure. This workshop was featured by Lethamir this year, and watching him navigate through the course will show you just how difficult this thing is. Like, if this is hard for Leth, it's going to be impossible for everyone else. You're actually not even supposed to use any boost on this, so this is just me checking it out. And it was still really hard. Rocket League Warrior is a landmark Rocket League creation, and the creator, Dark Trinity, should be extremely proud of what he's created. Only problem is it's too hard for pretty much all of us. 8 out of 10. Number 6, the Dacia Spring Electric Challenge. I feel like the Dacia Spring Electric Challenge didn't get enough attention for how insane it was. The map was created by Lethamir, Jadek, and Mr. Swaggles, and featured 3 gigantic zones with 20 levels each. The sponsor, Dacia, offered €1,500 to whoever could complete the challenge the fastest, and $500 to the second-place speedrunner. The map features a super detailed cityscape world with a clean menu offering 3 different difficulty levels, so players of any level can enjoy the obstacles while learning car control control, boost management, and how to deal with repeated failure. In the end, the world record speedrun was submitted by Tempo, and it really is quite mesmerizing watching his absolutely perfect run through this course. He completed the entire thing in just 6 minutes and 40 seconds, netting him an easy 1,500 European money units. 7 out of 10. Number 5, Agent 9. In Agent 9, you take control of a secret agent in the future. You live in a house, own a gun, and drive a car. I would like to remind the maker of this map that since we're playing as a car, this makes absolutely no sense. But hey, it's still better than hardcore parkour. The story and level design are quite solid in this. I really enjoyed the mechanics and exploration. Basically, you go to your place of work, and your two main jobs are to complete an aerial course and a maneuverability course, and the thrilling job of moving some boxes under a tractor beam for a lazy mechanic. This is actually still more fun than ranked 3s. Everything changes though when the space base or whatever comes under attack and you have to book it back to your ship without touching any surfaces. Overall, I found Agent 9 enjoyable and slightly challenging. I mostly just enjoyed the idea that my Octane has a 9 to 5 and drives a bigger version of himself to work every day. 8 out of 10. Number 4, Lethamir's Escape Room Castle. In one of the most complex and satisfying Rocket League creations ever, Lethamir has outdone himself with this one. The Escape Room Castle is a collaboration between Leth, Simple Shark, and Mr. Swaggles. By the way, after searching through hundreds of workshop maps, I quickly began to see just how prevalent these 3 names are in the custom world. These 3 guys have created an endless amount of maps, especially in 2022. Another name you should know is Across Patat, who also deserves attention for his Rumble 2.0, Mashup Museum, and more. But I digress. The special thing about the Escape Room Castle is it's a multiplayer experience that requires a teammate. 2 players must navigate some pretty tricky and just plain puzzling adventures to complete the mystery of the evil eggs that have taken over this terrifying landscape. This challenge has 3 distinct levels with hours of entertainment and sometimes very difficult obstacles and mysteries. The entire thing was created for a Halloween event sponsored by Psyonix, where teams of 2 competed to be the fastest to escape the castle. As you may have guessed, I was one of the participants, and along with my teammate Rizzo, I'm happy to report we managed to finish in first place. The cutscenes, dialogue, and level design are all top tier, and this really is a landmark achievement for third-party Rocket League creations. I also like games that I win, so Lethamir's Escape Room Castle is a 9 out of 10. It's also just really that good. Number 3, the Vent Maze. I included the Vent Maze not because I completed it, but because it truly is unbelievable. Let me show you what I mean. This is the start, and if we go up here, we can see the entire maze before we attempt to complete it. So I know what you're thinking, why don't we just memorize the maze or take a picture and then run through? Well, this is why. It's huge and impossible. I boosted across the top at supersonic speed and it still took me a couple minutes to get to the end. And then when I tried to drop down, it told me no cheating, as if there are any rules of honor in a world where someone's allowed to make this monstrosity. When you actually enter the maze, first you have to go through a ridiculous vent with no distinguishable features or textures. And then when you actually enter the maze, yes, it is as impossible as it looks. Simple Shark, you are a monster, and I'm issuing a second bounty for this video. If anyone beats this maze, and I don't care if you cheat, I will give you $300. Just provide video proof of you at the end, and I will ask no other questions. 3 out of 10. Number 2, Eversack's Olympics and the Egg Olympics. I'm combining these 2 challenges because they're so similar and almost equally awesome. The concept for both of these maps is a central hub where players can choose whichever challenge they want to compete in. There's a wide range of skills from flicks to dribbles to power shots, and all your scores get tracked so you can finally settle the score with your friends over who can flick the farthest, since I know that's a strong point of contention among Rocket League teammates. Eversack's apparently hosted a €1,500 competition on his map, which is cool, but I think in terms of presentation, Simple Shark takes the cake here. I really like the little billboards explaining each minigame, and they're all really fun and actually pretty useful. I might have to use this for some kind of competition between pros in the future because there's a lot you can do with this. And it's at the level of production where it feels like it really could be in the game. It's that good. 9 out of 10 for both of these. Number 1, The Path. I can't really say enough good things about The Path. At its core, it's a dribbling challenge. A really long, really difficult, visually appealing dribbling challenge. But it's also so much more. Real care has gone into, well, pretty much everything about it. It features a story, NPCs, Easter eggs, achievements, shortcuts, really nice timers and checkpoints, and apparently even more stuff that I didn't even discover. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda got lost in The Path. Not literally, I just lost track of time. Although, actually, I also did literally get lost at one point when I went off the path. I went into into this experience just looking to try it out and record some footage, and over 2.5 hours later, I completed the entire thing. I warn you, it gets really, really challenging, so I don't even think it's possible to finish if you're below Grand Champ. You can try, but yeah, it's hard. It's my new absolute favorite Rocket League challenge. 10 out of 10. Almost all of these challenges were created in the last year alone, so this really was a look at the latest and greatest in third-party Rocket League challenges. It really is amazing how a dead game like Rocket League can really thrive thanks to the many weird and talented freaks in the community preventing all of us from getting bored. And this is just scratching the surface. I didn't even tell you guys about Tunnel Race, $50 to fastest time, no cheating. I didn't even include this one on the list because it's actually too good for this video, and I was afraid some of the messaging and subtleties would just go right over the heads of my simple-minded YouTube audience. You see, this whole thing is actually a metaphor for how we're all racing along in Rocket League, chasing that cheese with no end in sight. Everything will be fine once I catch the cheese. And I've only logged about 4,000 hours into this game. I mean, this challenge. You guys wouldn't get it.